One thing that always puzzled me after watching The Godfather was how a sharp man and strategist like Vito Corleone could make so many mistakes in such a short amount of time. Errors he never made during his long time as head of the family. It's baffling to see a man of Vito's caliber, known for making smart choices and strategic brilliance, suddenly fall prey to a series of missteps that threatened to unravel the very empire he had so carefully constructed. It becomes clearer and clearer that even the toughest and most respected guys in the criminal world can still make bad choices and suffer because of their own pride. We start to see the complicated relationships within the Corleone family and the problems that happen when a once great leader starts to slip up. When I mention fatal mistakes, many might think of the Sollozzo deal. It was a pivotal moment for the family, but a point of no return. However, the real mistake wasn't in saying no to the deal. The real mistake happened when his son Sonny showed interest in the deal, showing a weak spot to the other families. Sonny's interest gave them a chance to take advantage. It's shocking that someone who was supposed to be Vito's next in line could make such a rookie mistake, showing he hadn't learned from his father, who was always by the Don's side. This shows that the aging Vito had a hard time finding the right person to take over and didn't realize how dangerous Sollozzo was by sending Luca Brasi to get information. This plan backfired, leading to Luca's death and falling apart of the power structure Vito had worked so hard to build. Those who only saw the movie might not get how important Luca Brasi really was, but losing him was a huge deal. It reminds me of the movie 300 when the Persian king Xerxes, feeling frustrated by the Spartans' resistance, sent his elite guard, the Immortals, to crush them. However, this decision proved to be a mistake, as the Immortals were decimated by the Spartans who were fighting on their own terms and terrain. Similarly, Vito made a grave error in sending Luca Brasi to infiltrate Sollozzo's operation, perhaps believing that Luca was invincible and incapable of betrayal. Luca was known throughout the underworld for two things: his unmatched lethality and his unwavering loyalty to Don Corleone alone. This raises the question of how Vito could have thought that Sollozzo would believe Luca had switched sides. Like the Persian Immortals, Luca was sent into a situation where the odds were stacked against him, and the result was a devastating loss for the Corleone family. Brasi's death was not just the loss of a formidable enforcer, it was a crushing blow to the family's aura of invincibility, and a sign that their power was not as absolute as they had believed. Vito had had an amazing ability to size people up quickly, which made him successful. However, he failed to apply this skill to his own family, going blind to their flaws. Fredo, for instance, should never have been part of the family business. He was unreliable and incompetent. Sonny, although powerful, lacked the temperance to lead effectively and was easily manipulated by his anger. Michael was the only suitable successor, but Vito didn't want him involved in the criminal world, showing a clear misjudgment of his family's capabilities. On top of that, Tom Hagen's limitations as a wartime consigliere became evident as the family faced increasing threats from rival factions. For instance, when Sonny was killed at the toll booth, Hagen failed to anticipate the trap set by Barzini and Tattaglia. Additionally, he struggled to provide strategic advice during the all-out war against the other families, often deferring to Michael's judgment. Vito also didn't even notice that his own driver, Paulie, had turned against him. Also, Carlo Rizzi felt mistreated by the family and sought revenge by secretly aligning with Emilio Barzini. Vito, despite his initial doubts about Carlo, underestimated the depth of his resentment and the extent to which he would go to betray the family. This oversight directly led to Sonny's murder at the toll booth, orchestrated by Barzini with Carlo's help. It shows how sluggish Vito had become. Even his capo regime, Tessio, was unhappy with Michael being picked as the next Don, feeling so insulated that he thought about betraying the family. All of this puts a huge burden on Michael's shoulders at that moment. On top of these bad judgments, Vito Corleone was stubborn and stuck closely to the old-fashioned rules and values, ideas that other crime bosses didn't believe in anymore. Vito's unwavering loyalty to these outdated codes often put him at odds with the changing world of organized crime. His refusal to change showed that he was kind of a leftover from the past, fighting against the new ways that power and influence worked. The stubbornness and holding on to old values made it even harder for him to stay in control and lead his family well in a new time. It became more and more obvious that Vito, despite his successes in the past, wasn't willing to give up his position as someone who understood the modern criminal world better. All these problems created nonstop family tensions and almost caused the Corleone family to fall apart. It was only after Michael took over with his amazing strategic skills that the family got its power back. But we should give Vito some credit, though. He did predict that someone in the family might betray them again. Unfortunately, he figured this out too late. This highlighting the importance of adaptability, foresight, and the ability to make difficult decisions in the face of a changing world. So tell us in the comments which fatal mistake you think Vito committed that had the greatest impact on the family's fortunes.